Hey, how's it going? It's John again. I'm gonna play Immaculate Grid here. I'm gonna do something different today on Sunday. I've been doing it a little bit on the side, just on my phone, seeing can I go for the anti rarity score? Can I get the highest possible rarity score? Get the most popular people? Was playing with some of the people over with Ordinary Effort the other day, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of fun. I want to do that. So I think I'm going to make this like a Sunday tradition, is or part of the routine on Sundays. On the other days, I'll do what I've been doing. Sunday, I think I'm going to go for the highest rarity score. I'm not going to bother with the time round since usually the first person that comes to mind, or not usually, but a lot of times the first person that comes to mind is the highest rated person. So. I'm just gonna get into that. I'm gonna do this will be a shorter video, but let's do that. Let's do the highest rarity score. I'm gonna bring up yesterday's here and get rid of that and hit refresh. Hit don't have to hit go even. I suppose we could time ourselves, but let's just do it this way. All right. So obviously recency bias is a big part of this game. So keeping that in mind. Um, I'll say for Texas Hall of Fame, I gotta believe that's Nolan Ryan. All right, 41% feeling pretty good about that. Obviously, if you're over 50, you definitely got it, and if you're that high, you probably got it. Some other options would include, let's see, Blyleven, Gossage, uh, Fergie Jenkins, um, man, who else? I guess it's not like there's a ton of options, but all right, yeah, 41% was definitely the way to go there. All right, Vlad Guerrero also works. For Boston Hall of Fame, I think again recency. I guess this wasn't the most recent because I just mentioned Vladimir Guerrero, but in this case, I think Ortiz is probably the way to go. Relatively recent inductee, certainly doesn't work for any of the other categories. I think he'll be safe. Huh, okay. So that was a lot lower than I was expecting. So maybe Ted Williams and Carl Yastrzemski and Jim Rice are all higher. Cy Young, Pedro Martinez. I mean, there's a lot of options actually, but um, surprised Ortiz is that low for Boston. So that's probably gonna do me in there. I'm gonna say Xander Bogaerts over here, even though he's not the current shortstop because he plays for. Oh, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. Ooh, do I want to go over here with that? I think I want to go over here with that. And that's 23%. I don't actually know off the top of my head who the current shortstop in Boston is, or anyone since Xander. Um, and the period in between Xander and Nomar Garcia Parra is filled with like 1 and 2 years out of there's like a Jed Lowry in there and um Marco Scutero briefly. So I think the way I'm gonna go with this one is Nomar. Okay, 32%. So I think I played that correctly. Is it possible Xander's higher, or Xander might be the highest for both of these? That does happen. In which case you just, you know, see what the best option was. And I'm not playing the timed round, so I can just bring up the Chrome and play around with that one a little bit. Hall of Fame for Atlanta. I think it's I mean, you've got the big three, Max Lavin Smoltz. You also have Chipper Jones. I think Henry Aaron are basically the options. Um, I think I'll go with Chipper, but maybe I'll get burned the same way as I did with Ortiz. 14%. Okay, so Aaron might be higher. Where to next? Shortstop for the Braves. The current shortstop is Orlando Arcia. Um, and Jordan Simmons played over there. But it must have been almost 10 years ago that he was traded to the Angels. Um, and Dansby Swanson. Um, really, I mean the prominent guy from the 90s was Jeff Blauser. Walt Weiss was over there for call after him. Um, Johnny Logan, if you want to go Milwaukee Braves. Mm, I'll go with Arcia. Ooh, only 5%. Okay. So I think recency bias was, I think Swanson must have been higher then. All right. Um, Texas, I gotta believe that's going to be, sorry, not Simeon, Corey Seager. Simeon did play shortstop, but plays second base for Texas. Seager's the guy now. Major player, major contract. I'm going to take him over A-Rod because it's been 20 years for 10%. And I mean, for shortstop, I mean, it's hundreds of options. So it's probably not too bad. Rangers and Padres. Nelson Cruz works. Um, I'm trying to think if that's the best answer. He's not in San Diego for very long. But it's very recent. Gossage works. I think I've played that one before, and it's like a couple percent. Um, Adrian Gonzalez works. He came up with the Rangers. Um, he only played part of one season in the majors though. Um, do you think of any prominent pitcher? Kevin Brown will work. I think I will go with Nelson Cruz. All right. That was not as high as I was hoping for. And now for San Diego and Atlanta. Reggie Sanders works, Brett Boone works, Ron Gant works, but that's me the other days of the week that I would select one of those guys. Maddox is the answer. It's got to be. And that would serve to validate my decision not to play him here. So, like Greg Maddox for 25%. A nice high rarity score now. All right. So Ted Williams was almost three times as popular as David Ortiz. I played Xander Nomar right. A-Rod more popular than Seager by more than double. And then Darvish, I should have realized that was going to be higher. Four times the popularity of Cruz. Aaron was more popular than Chipper Jones. Burkhall was more popular than Swanson and Arcia. I was not going to expect that. Than Maddox. So I got of the best ones I got were Bogarts, Maddox, Ryan, uh, Nomar. So I only got five uh out of uh out of nine in my Price is Right style. Um was anything was any tricks here? Was any two players for the same one, which does happen sometimes, but not in this case. I just I vastly overestimated. I mean, Corey Seager is the current guy. He's the MVP of the only World Series in Rangers history. He's, under a massive contract. A-Rod, yeah, he signed a massive contract was famously in last place for 3 years playing for the Rangers. That was 20 years ago. Um, so that legitimately surprises me. That it's like I expected A-Rod to be up there, but it surprised me that A-Rod is less popular than or way more popular than Seager for this one. Nelson Cruz, I should have gotten Darvish. That one doesn't surprise me now that I've seen it. I just didn't think of Darvish. Um, yeah, Chipper Jones. Ortiz is also a surprise. Chipper Jones, not surprised that he loses out to Aaron. That was um, I could have seen that going either way, and it's still it's just past 7 o'clock here on the East Coast, so the grid's only been open for an hour and a half. So maybe the numbers, but maybe the numbers change a little bit more on the high end. They don't usually change that much on the low rarity scores, but on high rarity score, maybe they'll adjust a little bit. But Aaron being yeah, that doesn't surprise me. All time home run king for um, you know 30 plus years. Ortiz being that much lower than Ted Williams is a little bit surprising, but um, that's all right. All right. Well, this was a fun change of pace, I think. I'll work these grids in too. In the meantime, thanks so much for playing along, and we'll be back at it probably tomorrow. I might be able to get a grid in. All right. See you later. Peace.